Alright, fuckers, welcome back to practicing challenge 52, right? Athoro is my god. Gluck, 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 Athoro. Anyways, right, who am I? I'm Viggy. I've been drawing for 3 years and 8 months. This is currently what I'm capable of from imagination, right? This channel is a repository of my practice to prove anybody can learn to draw, especially you. That's actually a distinction I'm going to be making in my intros from now on, right? Anybody can learn to draw, because learning is the goal. Right? And every single one of you is capable of learning to a degree which is excellent over decades, if not masterful over your lifetime. So, with that being said, get your pen, get your paper, and draw along with me. Let's put in the only thing that we can control, which is effort, right? That's the only thing we can ever control, right? So again, what am I doing? I'm doing the first week of challenge 52, right? We're doing hardcore mode, which is going to be 500 boxes. Currently, I've done one double-sided page like this. So the goal is 20 double-sided pages like this because I'm not going to count 500. Roughly, it's between 50 to 20 boxes per page. So I think 20 pages is fine. Right, like it's not like super strict hardcore, but again, you might be wondering, well, Vicky, it seems like you have quite the draftsmanship abilities. I hope none of you talk like that, especially me. But how do you make boxes difficult? Well, you make boxes difficult by doing multiple things. First, force yourself to zoom out. Second, don't look at the line that you're drawing. Third, visualize the entire box before you put the line down. Fourth, visualize the seen-through parts of the box. Fifth, visualize the diagonal cross-section on every single invisible and visible plane. And then lastly, draw 20 to 30% faster. Make the mark 20 to 30% faster than you are currently capable of, right? While visualizing and zooming out and not looking at the line. And you can see that causes your lines to suffer, right? That causes your lines to be very broken. That causes the visualization to be very scattered, right? That causes, and I'm telling you that's what's causing me right now. Like I can't, that causes it, that makes it extremely difficult to calculate the diagonal cross sections, right? And to see through the box in and of itself. And this trains your ability to zoom out on the canvas, right? As well as to not look at the mark that you're making, as well as while not looking at the mark that you're making, to ensure that your pen pressure connection and sensitivity, whatever the fuck you want to call it, your pen pressure control is adequate or attempting to be adequate, right? That was extremely difficult, and you can see these two lines are diverging, right? This over here is converging a bit too fast, and the entire time I'm constantly trying to calculate this diagonal cross section, this one, invisible, 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 and I could barely do it. I could barely do it. But that's how you make boxes difficult, right? That's how you can make just boxes difficult when you have put in the hundreds and thousands of reps beyond being able to draw boxes in many angles without doing all of that. So what does that mean? Like when your baseline ability is that, hey, I can draw a box at any angle and I have intuited the calculation for the horizon line, the multiple planes, and the multiple convergences, right? Then it's like, how do I make this more difficult? What I just said, right? Everything can be more difficult. For example, the next stage for this can be I visualize the center planes, the 3 center planes intersecting inside the box, right? And then it can be like the ellipses inside those 3 center. Like you can make it, well, actually not ellipses because it's not a perfect cube, right? But you can do the center planes, of course. And then you can put the fucking diagonal cross section in those center planes. Like there's a million ways to constantly keep visualizing, right? So that is very cognitively taxing. Like what does this do, by the way? What does this do? What's it doing to me right now? It is forcing my brain. And again, like I'm also, like while I'm talking, I'm drawing. And talking while drawing is an extremely difficult skill, right? And also while zooming out, right? Like this is why like it's beautiful. And I just force myself to feel good because my lines suffer greatly, right? But talking while drawing is a very difficult skill. And while I'm talking, while I'm drawing, and while I'm zooming out, it's extremely difficult. I'm holding multiple things in my working memory at the same time. Like, and also, I'm specifically, again, trying to apply and think, and what am I doing right now? Like, I'm applying while thinking at a speed that is beyond my current capability, while also trying to make sure the proportions are accurate. These two proportions, this was supposed to be the same proportion as this, but it's not, right? This was supposed to be like a more further away perspective, but it isn't, right? So again, more opportunities to just practice that, right? More opportunities to simply continue to practice, to visualize, right? To hold these dozens of items in my working memory whilst I do so, and apply lines at a rate in which I am extremely uncomfortable in, while zooming out and visualizing the entire box seen through every invisible plane and the diagonal cross sections and in every visible and invisible plane. And you can see That was amazing. Look at that mistake right there. It did not connect because I'm zoomed out and I could not connect it, right? But already my lines are getting better. Already my lines are 100% getting better, and the proportions are slightly better here, although this could be a bit longer, right? We'll do one more and then I'm gonna rest my brain, and then we'll do like the last one, right? And then I'll like fucking draw, like I'll do the underdrawing of like what I'm trying to visualize, right? But again, I'm constantly trying to ensure that I am, and I'm trying to like obviously think about a different perspective as well. What I'm trying to do is I'm trying to take this original box, I'm trying to scale it down or up or down, like scale it larger or smaller. And again, I want to keep emphasizing, right? Zooming out, seeing through the box, calculating every single diagonal cross section on the invisible and visible plane, and holding it while applying, and also while applying, zooming out like while applying, and having my marks be applied 20 to 30% faster than I'm used to. Those are all items in our working memory that are being juggled extensively, like consistently, not extensively. Well, yeah, that's extensive, but it's consistent as well, and it's very difficult because your brain can only hold 5 to 9 things in its working memory at any given moment, and your brain also utilizes something called astrocytic glycogen, right? So astrocytic glycogen is being essentially fucking hoarded. It's being competed for by my motor cortex, my prefrontal cortex, and my parietal lobe, because I am moving, right? I am using my motor skills. I am visualizing and calculating, right? And like the perspective grid and the diagonal cross sections, and holding that while applying with the motor cortex. And I am speaking, I am narrating my thought processes to you whilst doing the aforementioned other skills that I just mentioned, right? Like that is being utilized. So incredibly difficult, and that is exactly why it is worthwhile, right? And that's exactly why it's worthwhile. So again, let me try zooming out, right? This is technically, and you can see my lines are suffering, right? But this is technically, I guess, an easier perspective, but I won't let it be as easy as I am saying it is. And again, I'm not looking here. I'm literally, now I am, but I'm literally, because the connection needs to be made, and that's cheating technically, but I am literally zooming out and just trying to think about the entire scene through box. Like I wasn't looking there either, and I'm trying to think about the proportions. While I'm thinking about the proportions, I'm still thinking about convergence here, convergence there, right? I'm trying to think through the box. I'm trying to see the invisible grid lines, right? And this is a beautiful, beautiful, difficult skill, right? Like this is where, what is this training? This is training my ability to apply at a speed faster while zooming out. See, I couldn't connect it. That was a mistake. We're gonna leave that there, right? But this is training multiple things, and the proportions are off, right? Because if this is larger, like this plane is larger, so this plane should have been larger here in proportion to that. So again, this is training so many things. My proportion is also being trained as well, and this is not and it's very taxing on the working memory. So what is the trickle down effect of this after hundreds and thousands of repetitions, right? Hundreds of repetitions, because we're doing probably like 400 or 500 with 20 pages, maybe 300-400, right? But what is the trickle down effect of this? My ability to apply cleaner lines while not looking at the line, my ability to zoom out and visualize a larger canvas within the page, right? And visualize and calculate a larger perspective within the page, right? To not specific, and again, zooming out is a huge skill. You don't want to be, you don't want to be so specifically. This is like a beginner problem, right? Like we'll make a line and we'll be so zoned in on the line, but that's a bad habit if you're trying to connect a point from A to point to B and do a type of line with it and focus on the line, like multiple things. But zooming in general is not the best thing to do. Like it is not the best thing for your focus as well, right? So that's a few things that it's already improving. The other thing is it's improving my ability to automate, I don't think automate is the word, automate my basic perspective math. For me, this is my current basic, right? My geometric math, which is seeing through the box and calculating the diagonal cross sections on every single visible and invisible plane, right? Like that is my current basic. 3,000 repetitions ago, i.e. 2 years ago, my basic was line, just the plane. And that was already like, goddamn, like I have to think about 2 different points of convergence. Like that was already extremely difficult. And it's all fucking categorized and cataloged, documented. So, I'm not full of shit, right? But anyways, that is the point of all this. Like you can always make things more challenging for yourself, and you can always make it boil down, the fundamentals, you can always make it boil down to even making the basics very difficult for yourself, right? So Yeah, and it's very cognitively taxing. This is a different type of cognitive tax where, again, and drawing is all cognitive tax, right? Like even your motor application, like the skill that you're using, you're thinking how to use the pen, no? You're thinking, it's called proprioception. This is a huge part of skill learning when it comes to a motor skill specifically. It's proprioception, your awareness of your body and the space that it resides in, right? I think that's also related to kinesthesia, kinesthetics, whatever the fuck. But the point is, right, your kinesthetic sense, the fucking butthole. But anyways, proprioception, when you're learning a skill, right? Awareness of your body and the space that it resides in. So what is the context of that when it comes to learning this motor skill? The pen, right? The pen pressure that you're applying on every single millimeter of the fucking line that you're applying. And like, for example, okay, I'm drawing a line, I'm not looking at it, right? Oh, look, it's super faded. Let me try that again. Right? Oh, look, that was really thin, but that was nice. But then it's much thinner here, and this gets thicker here. Like these two have the same level of thickness versus this line, right? Like this part of the line and this part of the line are the same level of thickness, and this one isn't, right? Proprioception, awareness, right? What is the proprioception here? This line is super wobbly, thick, thin, thick, and then like it's shitty at the end, right? What about this? Just thick all around, super wobbly, right? Thick, and then it gets thin, and then my finger gets off the pen, and then it gets thick again. These are things I'm constantly thinking about, and either aware of to the best of my ability and attaching dopamine to when I'm making errors, or intent, or just doing what I'm trying to do, which is like actually making a decent line. Like this is a decent line, that's a decent line, that's a decent line, right? Shit line, shit line, shit line, shit line, shit line, shit line, shit. Like vast majority of them are absolute garbage, right? And that's a good thing. Proprioception, awareness, like, and you see how it's just so many things are being juggled in your brain at once. That is drawing, that is learning, and that is something you're capable of. Now rest your brain, please. Let me drink some water, as the youngins say. Oh man, I fucking love ice water. I love it when I put fucking ice in my water, so good. Alright, and by the way, this is normal. It is, I want to really reassure you and reinforce to you the fact that A, drawing is holding multiple things in your mind. B, that's normal. C, it's also normal that you you try to hold like even like half those things in your mind, and then you lose it within seconds, right? Now, hold on, let me try to speak. Fucking dick in my throat. But anyways, now what distinguishes somebody who consistently excels in their learning, from my experience and my observation, versus those who don't, is when you lose it, you are not ascribing the fact that you couldn't focus and like you couldn't hold it to your capabilities, but due to the fact that that is literally the learning process, and your only responsibility is when you lose, when I look at this and I lose the diagonal cross sections while applying, I try to acknowledge and be aware and catch that as soon as I can, and immediately try to bring my focus back to thinking about all those multiple things, right? And you'll be juggling it. You'll be constantly juggling it. The goal is to try to hold as much in your brain for as long as you can, and then when you lose it, to immediately try to reconstruct it again, to bring it back again, right? And that friction is what you chase and what you attach dopamine to, where you feel good about the errors. Like that's literally it, right? Like that is the beautiful experience of learning. I don't know why I said of learning like that. But anyways, one more box in this perspective. In this proportion. And again, this is training my proportion skills as well. It's all training, right? And currently it's not that good. So let me just I'm just trying to think right now. Okay, again, I'm trying to think, right? It's all thinking. And there you go. Let me zoom out in my mind. And oh, see, that line is going to shit. Go zoom out in my mind, try to get the boom, boom, pow. Just try to make a reference. And again, I can't see, I lost the diagonal cross sections immediately, right? So I'm still trying to hold that in my mind. I'm still zoomed out. I'm like looking right here while I'm making all these marks, right? Like I'm really trying, and I'm trying to get the diagonal cross sections, the invisible planes as well. It's extremely difficult because this angle I have not practiced enough of, right? And I might have actually diverged that line. I'm not too certain, right? But either way, I'm just also trying to think through this box, think about this diagonal cross section, this one, all the invisible ones, and I'm trying to apply the line as fast as I can while I'm doing it, right? Okay, that was pretty bad, right? That was pretty bad. The lines went to shit, the proportions went to shit. Again, and I'm forcing myself to feel good. I could not see the diagonal cross sections here whatsoever, and it's completely inaccurate proportion-wise, right? Like so many things to hold in my mind, and it's fucking amazing how we can make boxes incredibly difficult. Like think about it, you can make boxes. Like boxes are already very difficult, by the way. Like I'm not saying boxes are not difficult. I'm gonna be very clear, right? What I'm saying is once you are past that first stage of 3,000 repetitions of being able to draw any box in any angle, right? Like roughly, like once you're past, and again, same thing here. I'm not going to be looking at the exact box itself. I'm still training my ability to zoom out, right, while applying these lines. And there will be mistakes. Like that already was a mistake. I didn't connect it properly, right? And this line, like already is a bit of a this one right here is a bit of a mistake as well because it's too curved, right? It needs to be more straight. And same thing here, like what am I training myself? I'm not, first of all, I shouldn't be ghosting, because ghosting in this case is a mistake, right? Even though ghosting is a very good habit. I want to say ghosting is a very good habit, right? Ghosting is ghosting is the bridge between your prefrontal cortex and your motor cortex, right? Where you're visualizing and your prefrontal cortex is visualizing, calculating, right? Spatial reasoning, and then motor cortex is applying. Ghosting is the bridge between that, where you visualize and you ghost the motion. I'm learning piano, so actually it's funny enough I transferred there too. My teacher's. I have a new teacher now, but like, goodbye Justin. Everybody say thank you Justin. Bless up Justin. Thank you so much for the 2 years and 3 months of or 4 months of practice. The man went on to medical school. Good for him. Fucking really proud of him, right? And you can see like this is completely off. Look at that. Look at that. What does that mean? That means I can't draw a line in this angle and look here and not look there and visualize it and connect it. See, what I mean by that is like I'm looking here, I'm not looking there, and currently I don't have the skill to draw a straight line that goes there, right? So that is inaccurate, but obviously for the sake of showing you that's what I was trying to think about, you know, let me just do the dotted version of that, right? But yeah, ghosting is something that exists in piano as well. And by the way, while I'm talking about all this shit, I'm still thinking extensively. That was off by a millimeter, right? I'm still thinking extensively. I'm still forcing myself to see everything. Oh, I ghosted there. That was a mistake. To see as much as I can. That's off by a millimeter, right? This edge right here. And you can't see it, so it's okay. Oh, this off by like 10 millimeters. Yeah, see? Beautiful. But again, just for the sake of, because there's always one thing I've been trying to not trying to, but one thing I've been trying to implement, yeah, like, but I've been learning about is the fact that, oh, this was completely off. Look, I started here and I was off by a millimeter there, right? If I'm off by a millimeter, I'm not gonna correct it, but if I'm off by something as off as this, right, I will correct it. And even then, that was off too. Like even my daughter version, trying to understand that was off. Is the fact that like when you make a mistake, it is actually really good practice to correct it immediately, right? And it's like dodoi, but no, in the sense that like if you draw something incorrectly, try to like immediately, not immediately, I guess, but like try to as soon as possible afterwards. What am I trying to say? Like draw the more correct version you believe, especially if you think you've actually understood the mistake. Now this is definitely off. Look at this. But you see how like I'm getting better because this angle we can tell like this angle is something I struggle with drastically, right? So same thing here. Like again, while I apply these lines, I am visualizing. Like I'm looking, when I look at these lines, I'm still forcing myself to zoom out. I'm still doing my absolute best. It is not working, right? My brain is not doing it, but I'm doing my absolute best to calculate this diagonal cross axis, this one, like all of the diagonal cross sections or cross axes, right? And that is the point, is like you just keep trying to do so. And it's funny because this is a session I didn't even feel like drawing. I don't know if I said this when I started, but I did not feel like drawing today at all. Like I just showered, I took a warm shower. You know, you take a warm shower, you're like, oh man, I feel nice and like relaxed. My mind just wants to chill and do nothing, right? It's like, well, tough titties, brother. You have an art channel that holds you accountable. So you don't have a fucking choice to not draw, right? And it's funny because I literally wanted to draw the entire day. I was so looking forward to this session. Oh, see, that's off by like 4 millimeters, right? I was so looking forward to this session, but I think this is just a plight, not of the artist, by the way. This is not like, we're not so special that this is just an artistic plight. This is just the plight of effort. This is just the plight of effort, like to exert effort right? And to that's off by a millimeter. To exert effort and to do something that is difficult is something that takes effort, right? Like to even think about it, and that's why you don't think about it. The whole "don't think, just do" mantra, right? That I mean, at least my girlfriend says it, which is honestly a pretty good mantra in my opinion, right? And by the way, like while I've been like drawing these, like it's been very hard to zoom out and think about the entire box and its diagonal cross sections. I'll be honest, right? But I'm just because like the second I'm drawing this line, immediately, oh, and see that's off by like 4 millimeters, right? But the second I'm drawing this line, immediately it's incredibly difficult, and that's also off by like 4 millimeters. So again, this just teaches me that like these more narrow, lengthy angles, right? These more narrow, lengthy planes in which the angles must be connected to are more difficult for my motor skills and my visualization, which is what? A skill, right? That means it can be improved over hundreds and thousands of intentional repetitions, right? And again, I cheated that one there. If you can see, I kind of curved it, but it's off. This is, right? Hundreds and thousands of intentional repetitions. Let those words always be the only words you need for yourself, which is, I am capable of hundreds and thousands of intentional repetitions, right? And it does not matter how long it takes, I will achieve as long as I focus on doing my best and trying to think as much as I can and apply while thinking as much as I can, right? And see, like even this, like this seen through box, it's not even connected there properly. But again, like while I'm looking at this box, right, I'm trying to think about this diagonal, this diagonal, this diagonal, this diagonal, this one back here. Like I'm trying to think about all of them at the same time. And it's extremely difficult to do that while applying these lines, but that is what is necessary, right? That's off by a millimeter, right? That is what is necessary. Like I'm looking here, that's off by a couple millimeters. Like okay, that was okay, but the line itself was a bit curved, right? Like I'm looking here, but I'm trying my best to think about this diagonal cross section and like this diagonal cross section if I can, right? And like my brain is hurting, you know. This is the friction. This is the beautiful friction that you attach dopamine to, because you're telling your brain, when you attach dopamine, when you feel good about these things, you're telling your brain that you must pay attention to this, right? This is important for you to understand, all right? When you attach friction, i.e., when you attach, see, I just forced myself to feel good. When you attach frustration to this friction, right, this feeling, and by the way, all this feeling is a bunch of fucking chemicals in your brain. So it's nothing so special of like, oh, the artistic angst, like get your head out of your ass. It's literally just acetylcholine and norepinephrine, okay? You're not fucking special. You're just releasing chemicals in your brain. Your interpretation of those chemicals is what dictates whether you're learning effectively or whether you're blocking your own learning. Because when you're sad, when you attach frustration, i.e. cortisol or whatever the fuck the chemical is, right? When you attach frustration to your learning experience, what you're signaling to your brain is that this must be suppressed and not understood because it is causing frustration, right? This is not a good thing, right? Versus, also let me actually move this down a little bit just so I do it the right way, right? Again, like I'm trying to think about this diagonal cross axis, this one, the visible, 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 invisible, invisible, invisible. But I'm trying to think about all of that. I'm trying to visualize it. I'm trying to calculate it. That's what I mean when I'm trying to think. Like I'm trying to literally see invisible lines in my mind on the page, right? Like that is, and while applying, by the way, while applying completely adjacent, not unrelated, but completely adjacent lines, right? And that is also very, very, very difficult, right? And again, the fact that I'm not ghosting makes this even more, oh, that's off by a millimeter, makes it even more difficult. And that's why, like, I hope me constantly telling you, oh, this is off, that's off, this line shit, that's off, just, it reinforces to you that, oh, he's just constantly analyzing, right? Like, it's emphasis on the anal, but it's just constant analysis. Like, it's just to the best of our ability, right? Like right now, while I was focused on that line, my brain completely stopped trying to think about any of the other cross sections, right? Just immediately just stopped that, because this required cognitive effort, right? Because this was uncomfortable. I started wrong and I ended wrong, right? But the second look, I just caught that, right? I'm verbalizing to you that I just caught that. So now I'm back to trying to think about, while I do this, trying to think about at least this diagonal cross section, right? At least like an adjacent one, if not all of them, obviously, but at least the adjacent, one of the adjacent ones, right? And again, like when I apply the line, it's really hard. Oh, see, that's off. And I just forced myself to feel good, because why? That is an error that my brain now needs. It has the opportunity to, because I've attached dopamine to it, i.e. just a fucking vague-ass feeling, vague-ass expression, like a literal physical forcing myself to feel good, right? And you can do that however you want. Like I, in the beginning, for months on end, would just have a shit-eating grin while yelling to myself in my head. Not yelling, but just saying error, error, error. Every time I made a mistake, I'd be like, "Oh yeah, I feel so good, error, 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 error." Like, trust me, it's literally as easy as gaslighting yourself, right? Because that's what it is. That's what learning is. Learning is just gaslighting the experience, right? And doing your best to be aware of the mistakes that you're making, which is why being aware of what are mistakes is huge, right? That's why you must, and I mean you must, do your best to have a vested interest in the subject. Like if you don't have an interest in what you're doing, and this is a huge mistake. Oh, that was such a big mistake. See, we're gonna leave it there. I'm gonna try dotting it, and while I'm doing this, I'm obviously trying to think about the other cross sections, right, in the invisible and visible planes, right? But that was a big mistake. Feels good, but what's it called? Like that is learning. I mean, and that's why like I'm really trying to express to you like he's constantly thinking about shit, right? Because if I don't demystify it, i.e., right, if I just don't tell you exactly what I'm thinking all the time, right, you know, rightfully so, will feel as if it is an invisible magic, and there is no magic to learning, right? The magic in love learning is the fact that we're capable of it, to be honest, right? Like that, to me, that feels magical. Like all I have to do is feel good about the mistakes that I make, try really hard to like do the thing, fail, and then do my best to acknowledge and like catch that failure and then be like, woohoo, failure, I feel so good. And then my brain does the rest with the spacing effect and just like and just sleeping well. Like that's it. Like they're telling me that's fucking it, right? Like it's actually kind of funny in that sense where I'm just like, I don't even try that hard. Like, yes, I try really fucking hard. Like it's mental effort, constant mental exertion. Ooh, see, off by like a fuck ton, right? Super, super off. So let me try to get that more accurate. There you go, that's more accurate, right? But like I do put a lot of effort in. I want to also say like the intensity of the effort you put in is huge. Like the intensity of the effort you put in is huge. Again, 1 hour of deep work greater than 10 hours of shit work, i.e. shallow work, right? i.e. I'm just doodling while watching TV, or I'm not paying attention to what I'm actually trying to figure out, right? Or I'm just copying 2D shapes and like 2D silhouettes, right? I'm not trying to actually understand space. Like all those things, you know, I'm not actually trying to understand. The biggest thing is if you're not trying to understand, if you're not exerting excess cognitive energy and constantly taxing your working memory on whatever it is you're studying, right, and grounding it in the fundamentals of what you're studying, right, whether it be form, line, perspective, values, design, right? But by the way, all of that is based on three-dimensionality. So like at the very, like if you can always improve your understanding of space, like without a fucking doubt, you can always improve your understanding of space. That's just like a non-negotiable, right? But the intensity of your effort matters a lot. So what do you do? Like, what am I doing? Intense effort, constantly feeling good about the mistakes, do myself to constantly juggle many things in my working memory, cognitive endurance. Okay, rest my brain for 20 seconds, utilize the micro gap effect, right? That replenishes your astrocytic glycogen. You know, that is what happens. It replenishes your astrocytic glycogen because your working memory is taxed, right? You hit output regression. That's where all your glycogen reserves, your energy reserves in your brain are used up by your motor cortex, prefrontal cortex, and parietal lobe. Okay, rest your brain. That's the micro gap effect for 20 seconds. Your brain replays everything you just did at 20 times the speed. It literally replays the repetitions. You get 20 times the repetitions just by resting your brain for 25 seconds, whatever, right? Every so often in your practice, right? Then you go back. Your brain is now refreshed. It has replenished its astrocytic glycogen. That is the energy reserve. That is, once again, you're exerting yourself, being used by motor cortex, prefrontal cortex, parietal lobe. Rinse and repeat for an hour, 60 to 70 minutes. Ta-da! And then you rest for 15 minutes after your session. Congratulations, you're now a peak learner, right? You've just beaten 99% of people by actually giving a shit, which you can do, which you're absolutely capable of, right? So with that being said, with that very, hopefully succinct explanation being said, please rest your brain, and I shall do the same. Maybe one day some dickhead will actually believe the science that I talk about. Like, I don't know how many times I can keep saying the same shit over and over. The answer is forever until somebody believes me. But yeah, seriously. Like, just fucking just turn your brain off, bro. Just turn your brain off and listen to the science, just like I do, right? Like, if if achieving this in 3 years and 8 months seems like something that you're like, wow, that's a notable level of skill. I think it's actually cool that he achieved this in 3 years and 8 months, right? I wonder what he's doing, what he did, right? Welcome to my fucking channel. Click on the goddamn channel. Look at the amount of videos I have. Understand that it's literally a repository of my practice. Look at the channel banner. Oh, this guy's uploading everything for the next 40 years to prove that anybody can learn to draw. Wow, maybe I should actually pay attention, right? This is just me begging for likes and subscribes. It's a very, very roundabout way. But anyways, I want to try to think about a different box because I like, again, like all proportion, right? I want to really improve my proportion. So let me think. And I like doing these bottom angles. That's always difficult. It's good. It's good to always do the angles that you struggle with, right? Jesus Christ, bro. Fucking hell. Stop burping. He said nonchalantly to himself because nobody's here actually listening to him. But anyways, let's try to do a more squarish box, right? Let's do okay, I'm trying to, again, now I'm already zoomed out. I'm trying to really visualize. And again, this is like a huge part of forcing my brain to automate the geometric math, right? Like take this diagonal, and then let's make it have more depth. There you go, right? This is actually like a pretty good box, and I'm struggling a lot to zoom out and to see every diagonal cross section. Like I can barely see it. And what am I doing right now? You guys all know what I'm doing right now. I am forcing myself to feel good because I'm not looking at the line. I am actively trying to look at the like right here and to see this diagonal cross section, this one, right? I am really forcing my fucking brain to see everything, and that was completely off, right? Beautiful, fucking beautiful. And this box was too similar to the other boxes, so already a mistake. Like I thought I did something proportionally different and ended up being proportionally basically similar, right? What does that say? I have a weakness when it comes to like creating unique, even just for simple 3 axes, right? Or axis, whatever the fuck, like creating unique ratios, right? What does unique mean? Just a fucking shit ton of repetitions, thousands of repetitions experimenting until I find something that is intuited to be quote unquote aesthetic or unique, right? What is that? Ratios, just sheer volume of experimentation when it comes to ratios. But anyways, let me practice. Let me look at this for a second, right? And again, while I'm looking at this, I'm seeing this invisible plane, diagonal, like everywhere. I'm just constantly doing my best to hold and calculate, right? I just fucking saw the center plane as well. I guess that's my practice from the portrait roadmap coming in, which is good. But you see, this is also diverging, right? This and this are diverging, so that's inaccurate. Why? Because it's a beautiful skill. It's a beautifully difficult skill to zoom out and try to also make sure that everything aligns, right? Like again, I'm trying to see this in time. Like literally, I'm looking here while I'm drawing this entire box, right? But like I'm not looking there. I'm just using that as an anchor point, but I'm zooming out while I'm doing it. Right, and again, my motor skills being used, my prefrontal cortex being used, like everything's being used, right? Holding at least a dozen things in my mind at the same time, which is the goal. But anyways, let's try to rotate this. Yeah, and again, like just trying to rotate it. And I'm trying to rotate, I'm trying to see through the box, I can, again, and that line went to shit, right? I'm trying to see through the box. I'm really trying to see through the box, and I'm really trying to focus on my lines, right? And it's extremely difficult because I can, oh, see, that was a fuck up, but I can barely, oop, that was also diverging, right? Because I can barely see, and that line's also a fuck up, but I can barely see the diagonal cross sections, and doing it at the speed that I'm doing it at is already very taxing. And you can see this is a huge cheat and a huge fuck up because I curved that line, right? So not bad, actually. The proportions there were not bad at all, but still incredibly difficult, right? So again, gotta keep going, and this time I just gotta, I mean, what else can I say apart from, hey, gotta keep going, right? But what else can I say, right? So let's again try to visualize. Let's see, do I have any angles that I haven't done? I haven't done this angle, so let's do this. Trying to visualize the box. I'm purposely trying to make this larger, right? And I'm trying to, let's see, let's make that a little bit longer. I'm trying to Dude, it's so difficult. I'm telling you, it's so fucking difficult for me to just see the diagonal cross sections, let alone to see through the box in of itself. Because my brain, my working memory is being absolutely front loaded with just zooming out and connecting these lines, and also trying to think about the diagonal cross sections. Like it is, and that's why like these little moments I'm giving myself, it's almost cheating, right? Because like I'm giving myself, see, that was a mistake, and I'm giving myself this little like reprieve of taking a step back while visualizing. But this mess you see right here, the messy feeling of like I am trying to do, oh, see, that was a huge mistake. But this messy feeling of like I'm trying to do all these different things at the same time and I can't feel like I'm doing any of them, that is exactly where you want to be, right? Holy fuck, that taxed my brain. That, dude, I couldn't see anything there. I was an output regression. I could barely see anything there, right? And again, like these lines will suffer. They will suffer for hundreds of repetitions until, lo and behold, compound effect, they don't, right? And the skills that will come out of that will be the ability to literally zoom out to like this extent of the page and draw something while not actively looking at that thing. It's like I'll be able to draw something here while possibly even looking even just like a little bit, because like that's already so difficult, but like draw something here while maybe like thinking ahead about like fucking something else on top of it, like of the form, or like looking elsewhere to be like, how should I compose this? That's an incredibly that's an incredibly valuable, extremely difficult skill that will take thousands of repetitions to get even mediocre at. And this is something I tell myself, and I'm telling you because like you're listening or whatever the fuck, whoever you are, right? But these are things I tell myself to remind myself that all it takes is a fuck ton of work. Like that's all it takes, like just in sheer intentional volume. And that is beautiful. That means everybody is equal. Like like in all senses, everybody's equal, because after 10,000 repetitions, I'm not even talking about hours, by the way, I'm just saying like just repetitions. But after 10,000 repetitions, you'd be 10,000 intentional repetitions put towards sheer effort on improving and the foundational abilities that one is setting themselves forth towards improving on, right? Really fucking clusterfuck of a sentence, probably could have been said better, but like that is the giant asterisk I'm putting behind that sentence, right? Behind the 10,000 repetitions, like intentional repetitions, focused like on foundational skills, right? Just intensively focused on foundational skills and just really focusing and like learning properly, focusing on the effort, attaching dopamine to errors, right? 10,000 repetitions, after 10,000 repetitions, doesn't fucking matter who you are. You can take 100 people who've done that and you'll find like a fucking 10% degree in variance in their skill. Congratulations, this guy can draw this line fucking 10% better. Oh my god, oh wow, so talented, so talented. Like shut the fuck up. There's somebody else, some girl who's probably better at like the control over the line, and then there's somebody else who's better at like the at the what's it called, like the scale of the line, like in which they can draw without losing the control, right? Like there's like so many little nuances, but like everybody will be better in one thing and worse in another thing, right? That is called human diversity. Welcome to the fucking world. That is called diversity, all right? Like DEI, all right? We have equity here, but yeah, like it doesn't really matter who you are. Every single one of you is capable, right? And don't get so and this is just like maybe what was this called, a straw man? I don't fucking know. I'm just saying this as like an aside, and like how am I trying to say this, right? Because I know beginners get caught up in their own head, right? So sheer intentional volume, right? Intentional volume on the foundational skills, right? Every single one of you is capable of that. It doesn't matter if somebody else has seemingly put the same amount of work as you, more or less, right? And you see them having better abilities than you, more or less, right? I don't know why more or less doesn't really make sense in that context, because better just means more, I guess. But yeah, like more or less they have better abilities, or they seem to have put more work than you, right? I can almost guarantee without a fucking doubt that if they looked at your work, they'd be like, oh, you're doing this better and you're doing this better, right? And you'd be like, what? And that's why community is perfect, because everybody will be able to critique each other in an ideal community. You can critique each other without an ego, right? And just learn and just be like, oh, okay, you do this better. Please teach me what your thought process, right? That part of your thought process I could actually learn from. That other part doesn't really resonate with me. Let me try to find somebody else who I can resonate with, because it's all about just like, sometimes you just need the right words. And some words I say maybe like, okay, I like the way he says that resonates. Some other things I might say be like, I don't have no idea what the fuck this guy's talking about. That doesn't really make sense to me. That's fine. Not everything is black and white, okay? And I say that all the time, but like, it doesn't have to be, I like what he says, therefore everything he says is correct. Or I don't like what this one thing he says, therefore everything he says has no value. Like, use your fucking brain, you know? And I'm not just saying that about me, I'm just saying that in general. Like, use your fucking brain, literally. Use your brain in learning, use your brain in feedback, use your brain in critique, use your brain in learning. Just be engaged, right? Like, think critically, god damn it. But I'm gonna rest my brain, Jesus Christ. I'll be right back. Right, goddamn, it's already been 14 minutes, huh? 14 minutes. But, rocking somebody. Anyways, okay, let's do these 3 boxes. I want to give this space for some other larger boxes. So, let's do something that's actually very difficult as well. We're gonna draw something, we're gonna draw a very large box, right? I'm gonna rotate this. I'm gonna rotate this in my mind. And I'm going to... Hold up, let me rotate this in my mind first. Right, okay. And now I'm going to draw it behind boxes now. That will also be a very difficult skill because it's another skill to break the box, right? It's just genuinely another skill to break the box, right? And then to continue it onwards. Like, that is another skill. And that is a very difficult skill. And already, like, my brain cannot see through this as well as I would like. Like, it cannot see through this as well as it can barely see through the box, but this is the beauty of practice, right? And I honestly should have zoomed out a little, but I'm like already struggling to zoom out as it is, right? But this is, and again, like, dude, like my fucking like body in my ear, everything's like getting warm. And this is so difficult because I cannot see the diagonal cross sections at all. Like, I am genuinely struggling so hard to see through the box right now. Like, my working memory is so taxed, and I shouldn't be looking at that line either. But because this is so difficult, I am defaulting back to old habits. But now that I've caught myself, I was able to at least see this part of the box and to see this diagonal cross section, right? And you see how difficult that was? The second you bring a box behind another box, the skill of being able to break the box and then continue it, right? It's like, this is something I struggled with all the time. So let's say we have a plane, right? And then let's say you have an ellipse behind this plane. This right here, breaking an ellipse and then continuing it is so fucking difficult, right? Because then you have to visualize this part, right? And that's something I struggled with so much. And that's already a poor example. So it's likely I still struggle with it, right? But yeah, like, I want to do this again. I want to do that again because like that was so difficult, and I'm chasing the difficulty, right? I'm constantly chasing the difficulty. So let's again look at this box, try to rotate it in our minds, and then how should I do this? I want to put it somewhere here, right? Okay, let's do something like this. Yeah. I'm just trying to visualize to the best of my ability the box, right? And the seen through box at that, and then trying to bring it out, and I can barely see through this box yet again. But the thing is, like, it's still, even if I'm not making, even if the lines are not connecting, I'm still visualizing the box. Like, that's the fucking hard part, right? Like, I'm still visualizing the entire box. I'm still trying to see through the entire thing, right? While making these marks, you know, and that is incredibly difficult because I'm still trying to see through it in this diagonal cross section, this one, and this one, and this one, and this one down here, and that one. Like, that is so fucking difficult. The proportions were a little bit better there, right? And now let me just do the seen through part, or like actually, like, you know, go draw the seen through part, yeah, the wireframe and everything, right? But this is one of those skills where fucking I'm okay with like doing this for dozens of pages, to be honest. 20 pages will limit it to, but I have no problem. Like, if when we hit 20 pages, if I feel as if I could do another 20, I'm not in a rush because this is all foundational ability, right? Like, this is something that you just don't rush. And you see, that is wrong. You see that? That is so wrong, right? Like, that, what the fuck is this? Like, what went wrong here? Everything went wrong there because I should have, what should I have done? Interesting. It's because this line was actually ass. Like, this line is a curved line, so it doesn't even make sense, right? So this box in general, now that I look at it, is just inaccurate, right? Because this plane's okay, that plane's okay, but this line being as inaccurate as it is purely because this one, if this was connected properly, like so, like right around there, it would have been better. But it isn't because I fucking curved it up like that for some reason, right? So, inaccurate. We just have to deal with the fact that this is a wonky box and just make the connections either way, right? Whew, yeah, my brain is like constantly taxed. Fucking And that's where you want to be. Like, you just want your brain to be constantly taxed. Because do it for an hour. Again, 1 hour of deep work is much more valuable, especially in skill learning, right? Like, I don't know if this means anything, but I don't just learn art. Like, I practice piano for roughly an hour a day, 5 days a week as well, right? And after 2 years and 6 months now, 2.5 years, I am learning Nocturne in C sharp minor, right? And that's supposedly an advanced piece, like a more advanced piece, grade 8 or grade 9. I don't know what the fuck, bro. I don't know shit about piano. I literally just decided to learn piano purely for like purely autistic reasons. Like, I was just like, apparently learning an instrument makes you smarter. I feel like an idiot, right? I'm like, I am perhaps retarded. So what do? We learn an instrument to increase the size of our corpus callosum, which improves the connections between the left side of the brain and the right side of the brain. I'm like, dude, I need all the fucking I was like, I need all the goddamn brain power I can get. So I was like, okay, time to be an autist and just do the exact same thing I did with drawing, that I was doing with drawing, right? Because this is 2.5 years ago. This is when I just started drawing as well, like, and I was going off on the boxes, right? And again, like, this is also off. So I'm making a lot of mistakes with my seen through boxes, huh? And that just means I'm making a lot of mistakes with my boxes as well. And again, I'm trying to zoom out and visualize all the other parts, all the other diagonal, and that's off, and all the other diagonal cross sections as well while I do this, right? And again, this is to automate, and the reason I visualize it, but I don't spend more than a couple seconds actually visualizing is because this is training speed. This is my fast day, right? This is training speed and automation of basic geometric math. What is currently basic geometric math to me, which is a box seen through with every single diagonal cross section. Because on the portrait days, that's off by a couple millimeters, right? On the portrait days, I train depth, right? I train actually seeing it and holding that and multiple other layers with the box, the diagonal cross sections, the center planes, the ellipses inside of it, and then the sphere encompassing it. I trained that for an entire hour straight. So it's again, oh, that's completely off. It's a perfect, and I just forced myself to feel good, right? Again, acetylcholine, norepinephrine, oh, that's also off. Again, force myself to feel good, right? Acetylcholine, norepinephrine are constantly being released in a different state of friction and discomfort, which is me trying to visualize these oh shit, that's also, and I say oh shit, but I actually feel good. Like, I'm forcing myself to feel good. That's just like an utterance. That doesn't mean, that is not a reflection of how I actually feel. It's purely an utterance, right? Emphasis on the utter. But let's see. And then again, this is great because it forces me to actually think about space. Like, what does this box look like when it's being obstructed? Like, what are the invisible cross sections, right? Like, can I actually see it? The answer is not this one. Completely off, right? This one, there's something like this. It's like right there, right? And then the side one, and again, I'm still forcing myself to visualize everything, right? But the context of which the discomfort is occurring is different in terms of the fact that I'm doing it at a faster pace and my working memory is taxed in a different way. But see, this is also really difficult because when an obstruction like this box gets in the way, the brain gets confused. It's immediately like, oh shit, like the line should go this way, that way, like I need to change it. But no, if I just kept going, it would have landed right there, right? Same thing here, and my brain is like, okay, how do you connect this? Go from here to here, how does that work? And then there you go, connect it like so. Same thing here, when there's an obstruction. Again, obstructions are things that will tax your working memory, right? Like, they will tax, and see, that worked out. But I initially, I really did want to like put this line down here and this one like up here or something, right? Because the connection is being severed. It's literally being physically, technically, right? Because this is a physical object that we're drawing, technically, I guess, right? It is being obstructed, right? In space, which requires additional thinking to logic it out, right? And that is another, say with me, skill that requires what? Say with me again, hundreds of repetitions, right? I don't know why I slurred repetitions at the end. But either way, right? Like, and you can see I did make that mistake here. This one went this way, and then this, I couldn't connect it properly. Like, it's completely off, right? Same thing here. Let's see how it goes. Because I am thinking quite a bit. That one went pretty good. And then this one, see, I shouldn't have ghosted. This one, if I kept going, yeah, see, that's off. See? That's off because the corner's right around there. So that's off by like 10 millimeters. That is, I don't know if that's 10. Is that 10? Is that 8? I don't fucking know, bro. Do I know space? No, I do not know space. Right? I don't know measurements. I don't know proportions. I don't know shit. I am honestly garbage, man. But either way, like this is actually the hardest one because it's being obstructed by 2 different boxes, right? So I'm zooming out right now. So like I have to keep in mind exactly where it all ends, right? And I think this is correct, right? But I could be wrong. And same thing here. Now I have to think like, okay, where is, because this ends right here roughly, and then it goes up, and then ends right there. So I have to get the box or the diagonal cross section like this. If we keep going, see, that's off. That's completely off. It stops around the edge, right? But this one I can do because we see both edges, right? I mean, I can do in the sense that I can see it, but can I do it? No, because that's also beautifully off, right? I think the point I was trying to make earlier is the fact that like the working memory is taxed in different ways depending on what you're doing, right? Whether you're applying fast and trying to visualize fast, you're training your ability to calculate as correctly as you can while you're visualizing fast, which is what I'm doing here, which is what I do for portrait, for the figure roadmap and the hand part of the figure roadmap, right? Like that's also a separate series. But for the portrait roadmap, I'm training depth, stability, solidity, right? Like intense visualization. You know, not that I'm not training intense visualization here, by the way. This is just intense visualization, but doing it as fast as I can. If that's a good, I think that's a better way to explain it, right? And I don't even know where the fuck. I think I actually got this wrong. It should be down here, right? So this, if it keeps going, roughly there. That one, like, see, my brain really doesn't want to think about this right now. I'll be completely honest. My brain is like actively avoiding thinking about how these are connecting. But you know what that is? That's called bitch mentality. Right? And I think I'm off either way. But see, like, it's really hard for me to visualize how this ends, right? Because the box is being completely obstructed. And now obviously, like, part of that is in jest. But like, it bitch mentality in the sense that like that is just your brain exhibiting bitch mentality, right? Like that is your brain actively not wanting to do the work, and that is normal. Of course, your brain doesn't want to do the work. It is full of friction, like this activity, and that's also off, right? Oof, yeah, this activity is full of friction. I even have to attach friction dopamine to the fact that my brain like was trying really hard not to visualize it, and I was just doing my best to visualize it, right? And again, like I cheated there, I curved it a little bit. If I kept going straight, it would have been completely off, right? So again, subconsciously, I don't even want to fail. I don't even want to do bad, but, or not bad, but like not, you know, perform ill or whatever the fuck, poorly. I can't think right now. I'm too focused on all this, right? And again, that line was incorrect, and that line was okay. And again, trying to visualize this, but this is why like it's such a good thing that I'm so happy I started this channel, because it forces me to just throw my ego in the fucking garbage, right? Like I am very, very, very intentionally failing in front of every single one of you, right? Why? To prove that failure is where growth occurs. You know, how many artists do you know? How many artists do any of us know that post every single shit drawing that they've ever made, right? Look at that. Perfect timing. Look at that. I'm trying to visualize here to here. I fucking went here. And by the way, I'm not looking there. Like that's actually the key distinction, is like if I was looking there, I'd be able to do it. But the skill now we're building is beyond that. It's to even not look there and still have the lines connect, right? Even more difficult, right? And to obviously visualize other parts of the box and the diagonal cross sections while we make this mark, you know. And I haven't even been doing that well, because my working memory is already so taxed from, oh, see, that's off. My working memory is already so taxed from just trying to make the mark without looking at the other edge, right? That, oh, see, that's off. Yep, that's so off. Holy shit, look at that. That's so off. There you go. But yeah, my working memory is so taxed just trying to like connect a dot, connect one part of a line to another, like connect one point to another point without looking at that other point, right? While also still doing its best to constantly keep seeing through, right? Like to the best of its ability to be like, okay, the adjacent diagonal cross sections, if not all of them. So I'm gonna rest my brain, and then we're going to do the rest of the 5 boxes. And this will probably be a bit of a longer video, like an hour and 10 minutes, but they usually are, I guess. So yeah, let me rest my brain. I encourage you to do so as well. All right, cool. Oh God, 1 second. Disgusting. You know when you get like mucus stuck in your back of your throat? Very gross, right? Even hearing it probably makes you grossed out. I don't have any other words for it. Right? It is kimoi. Does that mean gross in Japanese? I don't know. I may be a weeb, but I'm not an otaku. Nor do I have any sort of Japanese ancestry. So, but apparently my grandfather was an alcoholic with how much I burp. So, let's do another box. Another 5 boxes, right? Really push ourselves. Trying to think about a different perspective right now. I'm genuinely just trying to think about a different, not perspective, sorry, different proportions. I guess I'll do something wider, right? And again, I'm looking here while I'm drawing this box because that's what I'm trying to focus on right now, right? And I'm actively trying to, oh, see, there you go. I'm actively trying to not look at it while I think about the diagonal cross sections, and this is so incredibly difficult for my brain. And see, like, that line was a fuck up. But yeah, one thing I want to say is, like, I'm really glad I started this channel just to show people that fucking up is the most normal and expected part. And I'm looking at the line right now just because I want to connect this damn line. But you see, when I don't look at the line, how much it goes to shit. But fucking up is the most expected part of learning. And if you look at my lines, if you look at my work right now, you're like, what fuck ups? Even your fuck ups are beautiful. Because, you know, everybody loves being all self-deprecating and all that shit. And, like, unnecessarily fucking dick riding for everybody else, right? Not to say that you're doing that for me, but I can see somebody in the future being like, what errors? The errors you see are so minuscule, bro. I would love to even have half of your skill. Sure, whatever. But that's why this channel exists, because I guarantee you go back far enough and we have the same level of skill. So no matter where you are, right? And I guess obviously I'm addressing people who are quote unquote worse than me, or like, yeah, I guess technically yeah, have less skills than me, right? Or are not as proficient as I am because they have not put in as many intentional repetitions as I have, right? What's it called? Like, yes, okay, I can, without a fucking doubt, guarantee, like, literally, I can fucking promise you, you go back far enough, we have the same level of skill, okay? Like, you are not alone. You are absolutely not alone, right? And if you're better than me, great. I cannot wait to reach your level of skill, right? Like, it's admirable and it's exciting to, and I can barely think right now because I'm talking about something completely unrelated, right? But it's extremely exciting, and see, that line was a fuck up, right? But it's extremely exciting to look forward to just constant improvement because we can just keep making things more difficult for ourselves, right? That was a bit off. So again, tried rotating, it didn't work out. So we try again, right? We try again. Let's see. And again, I'm really trying to zoom out. Like, really fucking trying to zoom out. Really trying to see. And I'm purposely making this angle super skewed, right? Really trying to see the diagonal cross sections. Really trying to zoom out and see it all. And it's super difficult. Like, I'm barely seeing it. Like, fucking 10%, even if that, right? Because A, it's the end of my practice, so my astrocytic glycogen and my brain in general is quite used up. Like, according to cognitive load theory, like, this is pretty much the tail end of my ability to visualize or just put in this much cognitive effort. And second, it's also the fact that because I'm drawing so fast that, like, my brain is, like, so taxed just trying to keep up. Like, the basic quote unquote geometric math is trying so hard to keep up with the drawing in of itself, right? That's also off. Let's do another really large one, right? Let me think. Okay, we'll do something like this. Let's see. Let me think. I'm just trying to look at this box for a sec. There you go. And there you go. So that's like that side, right? This might obviously still be off, but I do want to give it a go. And still, like, while I'm doing this, I'm trying to visualize through the box to the best of my ability, right? Am I actually doing it well? Probably not. Most definitely not. Very likely not, right? But am I trying as hard as I can? Yes, in this context, in this current fucking situation, like, as I continually, what the fuck is that word? Diddly do, neighbor, right? But as continually just try to visualize, right? Let me just do it again, I guess, here, right? I don't know if I say here. I keep saying here, but it's not here. It's here, right? You gotta ha ha ha. So let me really try to visualize this box. And again, dude, my brain is like dying. Like my brain is like fucking in shambles right now because it's incapable of it's genuinely incapable of seeing through this box right now while applying at the speed that it is while also zooming out. Like it is so fucking difficult to do that. I cannot see through this box at all. It was basically all I could do to just rotate it slightly. Look at that. That was so sad too. It was so sad. It was just like a very slight rotation. So yeah, come back to these videos if you want inspiration. Just to be like, And I lost the proportion. I lost the proportion so much. You know, if somebody were to look at this, they would not think that 5 of these boxes are, they would not think that this was 3 chunks of 5 boxes at different scales, but the same proportion. Nobody would think that, right? They would just think these are just randomly, arbitrarily different boxes that kind of seem similar, right? That's a fault on my end, because I'm making the lengths all similar as well. So like, I need to work on having different types of boxes. Like, I feel as if there was more variety here, but even then, like, I need more squat boxes. So next time we do this, obviously I'll focus a lot more on having more squat boxes. As well, right? But either way, just trying to zoom out and see through the box, right? Fuck, almost dropped that pen cap. But yeah, like, come back to, I mean, it's such a weird call to action. Telling people in the video to come back to this video, right? Like, that doesn't even make sense. So that's off. Like, that connection was off. But either way, we're gonna try to get the next one down now. That one was pretty good, but see, the lines are really wavy, so there's always a million things that could be improved, including just the pen pressure that I use as well. So it comes down right around here. So that's actually pretty decent, right? But my pen pressure could use a lot of work because I do grip my pen, not tightly, but I have noticed that like I tense up when I use my pen. So that is obviously a mistake, right? That is a genuine, bona fide mistake. And oh, see, landed there. So that is inaccurate. And we'll see again, like where this one is. Well, I can't even draw it, but it's like right there. So at least I understand that's where it is. But see, like this shit like helps you understand space so much, bro. Right? It helps you understand space so fucking much. And that's completely off, right? And that's because my mind did not want to intersect this box, right? Because it confused it. My mind was confused, right? It was like, because what it should have been is like going slightly over and like it would have been going along this box. It actually would have been going along this box, like literally its edge. But my mind did not, that felt uncomfortable, unorthodox, and unconventional to my mind, right? Therefore, it actively avoided it and chose a path that went in a slightly different space. Now let's see what's going on here. Also off, right? Look at that. Off. And look, at the same spot that this one landed in. So my brain clearly thinks that the edge of the bottom right corner of this box is here rather than here. Beautiful, beautiful mistake. Force myself to feel good, right? So yeah, but yeah, like that as I was saying, like I know it's obviously a weird call to action to be like, hey, come back to this video if you want inspiration. When the only way you'd know to come back to this video if you were on this video to fucking get inspiration. So obviously, it's kind of gone to shit. But I guess for those of you here, right, who will, I guess, continue on drawing, thankfully. I'm really happy I have a community, I'm not gonna lie. I know it's literally like just fucking, well, like 5 of us at this point. Nobody's really commenting anymore, right? Like this channel is not dying per se, but again, that was off. Again, feels good, right? But this channel's not dying by any means. I still get people drawing along, which is all I give a shit about, is like people drawing along, right? Because this is technically like an accountability channel as well at this point, right? Like watch me become great, but really, again, become great with me, right? Like let's, again, 1 fucking hour at a time, half an hour at a time, repetition at a time. There's a beautiful type of learner that we're building, like me and you, which is the learner who has no qualms about the effort, no hang-ups about the ego, and no reservations about the timeline, right? Like those three things is all you need to learn anything, because once you admit to yourself, you'll try your hardest, you'll put your ego aside, right? You'll throw your ego in the trash, and you don't care how long it takes. GG, bro. Like, what else do you need? Like, what else do you fucking need apart from just continuing? That doesn't mean you don't have days like I do almost like 80% of the time where you're like, I don't really feel like fucking drawing, right? Like, I'm not one of those people who's like, art is in my blood. Oh, I'm a fucking artist. I'm a born artist, right? First of all, very few people are actually born artists, right? Otherwise, they'd be seeing 3D space in the fucking womb, you know? And that line was a mistake. Very few people are born artists. You're really only, like, I think Kim Jong-il was a born artist. Literally, why? Because he was obsessed with learning how to draw, right? So the only people who are born artists are those who are obsessed with learning how to draw, right? And even then, he wasn't a born artist per se. He was just so obsessed that he willingly subjected himself to the extreme discomfort of just understanding the world around him from a young age, right? Like, he, again, why do I say her noises like that? Yeah, but he, like, he consistently says, like, it was super frustrating trying to figure everything out. I was so obsessed, but, like, I would get so angry, I'd tear up my paper, all that shit, right? So what a born artist, oh, okay, that's a mistake as well, a beautiful mistake, but, like, technically, like, a born artist is one who enjoys the process forever and always, right? And just loves learning, right? And always wants to draw, right? And yet, even Kim Jong-il didn't have that one-to-one experience, right? Again, okay, that's a beautiful mistake, right? And even Kim Jong-il did not have that experience, right? Like, even somebody that we see as someone who is, like, born to draw or a masterful drawer, like, and I'm not just talking about Kim Jong-il, like, fucking Frank Frazetta, right? Jeff Watts, Andrew Loomis, who else? Like Heinrich Clay. I don't know much about all of these people, of course, but I'm sure they all had days they're like, I don't want to fucking draw, bro. Right? But what really set them apart? Sheer intentional volume and the effort behind that volume and the consistency behind that volume, right? And the belief behind that volume that they would improve. And of course, within it, a love of the craft, right? I think that's all you need. Like, this is just gonna go into maybe not philosophy, but this is just my opinion, right? Like, I think really all you need to be a born artist, that's off, right? But I think all you need to be a born artist is to like it enough to put the work in, right? Without having any hangups about the work it takes. I think that's actually probably the biggest distinction, is like not having any hangups about the work it takes. Because the second you bitch and moan and you complain to yourself that I wish it wasn't this difficult, what you're saying is I wish this thing didn't actually require me to do the work to get to be good at the thing, right? Which what you're saying is I wish reality wasn't real. That's what you're saying, right? Like that's what we're saying to ourselves if we're not a born artist, I guess. But I guess my stipulation is what I'm kind of concluding on my own right now through this random conversation with myself and to you, I guess, as well, is like, I think there's only just one requirement to be a born artist. An interest in the craft, like an initial interest. It can be the most fucking baseline interest, right? But the willingness to put the work in and not having qualms about the work, right? And oof, that one is... Oh, such a beautiful error. I just fucking jerked off to that in my mind. Error, dopamine, right? But like, I think honestly that's all it takes. And my brain is like very tired right now, very, very tired. Genuinely very tired. I think that's honestly all it takes. Like, a born artist is one who has no qualms about the work, has a general interest in the craft, right? Respect, love for the craft, whatever the fuck, right? Because it becomes a love the better you get, of course, right? Like, I did not love art as... I loved art maybe 1% as much as I do now in the beginning. And 10 years from now, I will love art, yeah, like 100 times more than I do right now, right? Because obviously the better you get, the more you enjoy it, and then the more you want to get better, right? But that's why, like, you can't always be thinking about feeling good about being better, right? You have to, the feeling good has to come from the effort you put in, because if you are a born learner, I think that is actually what matters, not even a born artist. But if you're a born learner, you'll always try to make things more difficult. Beautiful error. You'll always try to seek difficulty. Like, I'm telling you right now, 30 years from now, I'll still be chasing the feeling. Ooh, that was actually not that bad. That would still be chasing the feeling of extreme discomfort. Like, there is no end. There is no end. Like, there are videos of Kim Jong-il when he's drawing being like, I just made 7 mistakes. And it is indiscernible, but the fact that he sees mistakes at that levels is an indication that he is constantly trying to improve and understand better his craft, right? Like that. And that's again not just him. I use his name because I'm enamored by him, his art, his mentality, his skills, everything. Like I'm enamored by that, right? But Peter Han, obviously, like he says things like that as well. He mentioned one thing where he's just like, nobody sees the work, right? Like nobody sees the decades that it took to get to this point, right? People just see that, but nobody knows how much work it put in. And he's like, that doesn't exist. And I was just chuckling to myself. I'm like, oh, Peter, thank you for saying that, because we are in the beautiful process of that existing right now. We're in the timeline where Viggy decided to document the art journey and prove once and for all that anybody can learn to draw. So yeah, I got nice and high on my horse there after I watched that video. It was a Proco video. It was like him drawing a train. I'm like, yes, Peter, I'll do it for you, bro. I'll do it for you. But either way, I'm probably like not even finishing my thought process there. But yeah, I think anybody can be a quote unquote born anything, as long as you have a general interest in the craft, a respect for the work that it takes, and no qualms about the work or the timeline about like that it takes to achieve whatever level of skill that is perceived to be excellent or masterful, right? Like once and just doing and just dedicating yourself to that, because once you are that person, or once you've decided to be that person, nothing gets in your way apart from death, and then it won't matter. So you know, it's honestly beautiful in that sense. So yeah, another page done, right? Another page done. Technically, I could fill out like a little bit here, but we're just gonna keep doing 5, 5, 5. I know I did 20 like the couple of hours ago, but this is okay. I think 15, 15, 15. So 20 times 15. What is that? Fucking, what the fuck is 20 times 15? 200, like 300? Jesus Christ, I'm really, yeah, two times 1.53. This, I'm not the best at math, this, right? But I can learn. If I put hundreds of hours and hundreds of repetitions, thousands of repetitions in, I would be excellent at math over a decade, right? So see, like it's just about where are you gonna direct your efforts. This isn't just about art. This is more than that. This is the life philosophy channel, right? So yeah, with that being said, hope you've tried your fucking best. Now rest your brain, right? After this, no stimulation, no social media, no phone, nothing. Get the fuck off that bullshit, all right? And just lie down and rest your brain in silence or with like white noise. I have my fan on, right? For minimum 10 to 15 minutes, and just let your mind wander. Your brain's gonna be consolidating this, right? It's gonna be playing it backwards. It's gonna be consolidating it. This is crucial. This is like an extra, like fucking beautiful 20% boost to your learning, right? It's not absolutely essential, but it might as well be with how fucking beneficial it is, right? So just rest your brain after this. But with that being said, I hope you really fucking tried. This was a great session. And as always, fuck you for watching. Keep drawing, and please, give me money.